Welcome to Go Bears Diecast Workshop episode 30. Remember, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll be notified of my future videos. This happens to be the Paint It Pink challenge for 2020 put on by 3 Blind Mice. It's a great cause, and check out all the builders. So my casting is the little GMC motorhome. And I have big plans for it. I'm going to change it all up. As you can see, it's only one post and a little tab in the back. So let's get started taking it apart. We're going to start out with our 1/16 drill bit. You need to make sure that you hit dead center. That is a small rolled over post that we're dealing with. Go ahead and take your time. I usually will check the depth and make sure I don't go too deep at first. I'm going to go ahead and change out to a 3/16 drill bit. That's so we can take the roll posts off. Again, start off slow and easy. I'm just trying to get the head of that post off. You see me wobble it just a little bit. I want to make sure I get it. I always like to double check and make sure I didn't go too far, didn't take off too much of the plastic base. I'll use my center punch to make sure that when I come back in to tap it and drill for that tap, that I have a nice area to go into with the drill bit so it doesn't walk on me. Give them a little screwdriver, got it apart. You can see there's plastic base. Very basic interior. We'll change the color on that. Nice tinted glass all the way around. And of course the metal casting itself. Now I'll go ahead and swap back to the 1/16 drill bit. I know you guys have seen this done by a lot of us over and over again. This is the way that we take our castings apart. But who knows, there may be a brand new subscriber just checking us out. So we're going back to the basics. As you can see, it's very slow speed, heavy feed. You want to go far enough down so that when you tap and put in that 256 button head, that it sits nice and flush. No need to get in a rush. I'm going to grab my 256 tap. Now you could use some 3-in-1 oil or some tap cutting fluid. Mine happens to already have a little bit of tap cutting fluid on it. I'll go in a couple of turns and back it out to clean it out. Now it's been through the stripper. You can see that I have cut some styrene because I'm going to close up some of the windows. I'm using that JB Well super glue. I kind of like that. Just something else I was trying out. It's a nice gel, so it's not as liquidy or fluidy. I don't even know if fluidy is a word, but it'll get into the cracks of that styrene and the metal. Hold everything in place. Now I'm in the spray booth. I'm going to go ahead and get some Tamiya fine surface primer on there. As you can see, I used some of that body putty and filled in the area so we'd have a nice smooth surface. One of them little woolly bullers then flew on the backside, and take that off. You want to make sure you get a nice even coat on it. Don't forget the underside, wheel well area. Now by the time that I go and mix my paint for my top coat, it should be nice and dry or barely tacky, so I could come right back with the top coat. Now this one happens to be 3 different colors, so I'm fading in the white right now. Now this is when you can let your artistic side come through. Doesn't have to be any real distinct lines. Just let the creativity take over. Again, I have a theme in mind, so it will be 3 different colors. Just making sure I got good coverage. Again, there's no right or wrong way as far as how your colors are laid out. It's just personal preference. I suspect by now some of you guys have figured out where I'm going with this casting. I'm actually turning this into a memo van. For those of you that's not familiar with it, it is a great way for women to have breast cancer screenings. It costs little to nothing to have this done. I know depending on state and where you live, and what your situation is, you could probably get it done for free. And remember, early detection actually saves lives, and this is a great resource out there for all the females. Now I mix this pink color that you see me shooting on. It's very light. It's a combination of white and red. That's what makes pink. Mostly white. A drop or 2 of red. It's laying on real nice. Again, there's no right or wrong way. This is all freehand. I do like the way it's coming out. Just looking at my work. Now coming on with the last coat. Final color. This is a Laguna Blue. All of this paint that I'm using is Createx. It's one of my favorites. I think if I had to spray all the time with the airbrush, I would prefer using the splash paints. For those of you that haven't tried it, give it a shot. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's pre-mixed for you. I really like it. But you do need to be careful about any puddling. So when you're putting it on, make sure that you don't go too heavy-handed with it. But the Createx is going on nicely. Of course, I'll follow up with some 2K clear. Once I got it exactly how I want it. I think that's looking pretty awesome. I'm just adjusting my cut lines right there. Yeah, I think that really turned out nice. Alright, I'm coming back with the 2K clear. I buy mine from automotive paint store. Lasts a long time. Just a small quart with the hardener / activator. Mix what I need, spray it. Gives a beautiful shine and gloss and durability to your casting. With these light colors, you can't see the clear going on like the darker colors, but the shine is starting to come through. You can see I keep the gun moving and the casting as well, making sure that I got good even coats and good coverage. Now when I'm spraying the clear, of course, it's at a higher PSI. It's probably at 40 PSI. But it works out really well for me. Some of these things are a trial and error for people. And you find out what works well for you based on the speed and the type of gun you have and what you're spraying. Coming back with my final coat. Make sure I got that coverage again. No dry spots. Everything's nice and wet and even. You can see when I turned it that one time, you can see that gloss. Again, there's going to be a lot of builders. Please check them out. I think we're going to be auctioning off our cars. And giving the proceeds to breast cancer awareness. So remember to check out all my fellow builders. And here's my end result. The pink lifesaver, the memo van. I made my own decals. I think it turned out really nice. This was an awesome build off. I'd like to thank the Three Blind Mice for hosting. And again, remember, make sure that all your female friends and relatives get their annual mammograms, because early detection will save their life. My oldest sister, Karen, she's a survivor, and a blessing that it was caught and treated. And I always dedicate this challenge to her. Thank you again. Subscribe, ring the bell, and this is a worthy cause. Have a great weekend.